So welcome to the second publicity webinar for the spring 2022 health fair season. I'm super excited that all of you were able to join. So I will be moderating. I'm Kristen Richmond, the Volunteer Engagement Manager. And then Allison Hedgepath, the Marketing Coordinator, will also be helping me. I figured we could go through and introduce ourselves. So Allison, why don't you start off?
Yeah, hi, it's great to meet you all. I'm Allison, like Kristen said, and I'm the marketing coordinator. I'm excited to help you all with all your publicity needs as we go through fair season.
Yes. And then again, I can't see the video, so if you want to go down the line and have folks introduce themselves.
How about Ashley?
Thank you.
Oh, hello. Hi, I am Ashley. I am the Community Relations Specialist and Event Coordinator for Grand River Hospital in Rifle, Colorado. I assume we're all in Colorado. That was dumb. Sorry.
No, you're good.
But this is my first time coordinating a health fair, so I'm super excited and looking forward to learning all the things.
Yes, there's many, many things. And it was good to put a face to a name. I feel like we've talked on the phone so many times, so it's nice to see.
Yes.
Maria, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. Sorry, I'm driving. Hopefully in a few minutes I can come back. I'll be able to open the camera. But yeah, my name is Maria Judith Alvarez. I don't speak English fluency, but I hope so I can understand you all. And it's the same that Ashley. It's my first time to do a health fair, so I hope I can learn a lot. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yay, that's awesome, Maria.
Yeah.
We'll probably learn from you too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And we'll definitely, ask questions as we go through. If anything doesn't make any sense, happy to kind of go more into depth. So don't be afraid to ask questions.
Okay.
And I mean, Edith, they kind of already know you, right?
I know,
But you can introduce yourself for everyone else who's watching the recording, because I know that people will come back and watch this.
Yeah, so I'm Edith Thompson. I am in the volunteer engagement department, and I am a liaison for several health fairs. And I've been around a while. So
she's our health fair expert. I always like to say that. I'm always learning new things from Edith. So hopefully you can learn something from all three of us today.
Edith has received so many emails from me today. I apologize, Edith.
it is just fine.
Love it. Love it. So today in this webinar, if folks watched the webinar, the first one, we talked really a lot about volunteer recruitment and how you can properly publicize that and get that. So if any of you haven't seen that webinar, please feel free to check it out. It was in our last Nuts and Bolts newsletter from February, which is in our volunteer system. They're linked. So definitely check that out, or, if you can't find it, just ask me and I'll share it. But that one is important as well. Just so let's go ahead and get started on the content. So I think it's important just to kind of set up the story of these health fairs. So in years past, we haven't necessarily, and this will, it's not necessarily new for you two, but for folks watching who potentially have run health fairs in the past, it's not typical for us to have kind of like a story or a real tagline behind our fairs, but I think it really does help just participants in the community, whether they're familiar with 9 Health Fair and our offerings, or this is their first experience with learning about what we do and how we can support them. I think having this type of overall theme of the health fair is really important. So you'll notice this through much of our marketing materials that we give you. You'll see for the health of it. So pretty much that's just marking that, why do all these things? It's because your health is important and we just want to do things for the health of it. So remembering that, we're giving people, and people have that power to affect their health and to track their health and to really have ownership over the progress and the positive outlook of their health. So we just have that little tagline at the bottom, get inspired, get informed, get motivated, do it for yourself, do it for your family, do it for the health of it. So you'll just notice this theme throughout much of our outreach efforts, and it really will, help you all, I think, just to tie that need to the community and showing them why this is important. A lot of people, we know they don't think about their health until there's a problem. So anything we can do to really connect those dots for them will help. And so just be thinking of this theme and this overall, for the health of it, getting back to healthier habits. That's really what we want to evoke with folks that we're attracting to these fairs. So just keeping that in mind while we're going through. Now this next page, we'll see if I did the technology right. We'll see if you guys can hear it. I'm hoping, fingers crossed.
Health fairs are back. Attend one of the 40+ community 9 health fairs around Colorado this spring. Receive affordable and free preventive health screenings, like a comprehensive blood chemistry test for only $45. Get your questions answered by a medical professional and receive a free COVID-19 vaccination at select locations. Walk-ins are welcome. Do it for yourself. Do it for your family. Do it for the health of it. Register for your affordable screenings at 9health365.org.
Okay, I assume if you guys didn't hear that, you would have stopped me in the middle of it. So that is a promo that 9 News put together through a sponsorship agreement with them. And that will be running on 9 News stations, I think in April, if I'm not mistaken, but Allison, you probably know that better than I do. Currently, they do have a volunteer recruitment promo happening. And we can share that with you as well. But just so you know, I put this video in here because it's on our YouTube page. So once the participant online registration recruitment happens, that'll be the week of March 14th. This might be a really good thing to share on your Facebook page, on your social media, in emails, wherever, anything we can put, and we'll talk about this a little later in the webinar as well, but anything video wise, it just attracts people's attention more than say a graphic or just a bunch of like text. So just know that this is there for you and you can share it to help in your own participant recruitment efforts once that starts. So, just know that that's there for you and be on the lookout for when you can share it. Okay, so I've talked about this a lot, and I'm sure Edith has talked to this with you too as well, and the liaisons for everyone else who is watching. But we have so many resources available to you, and a lot of them we'll be talking about in this webinar, but I just kind of visually wanted to show you what the Publicity Tools section of our resource library and the volunteer management system looks like. So again, that's on that separate website, the 9 Health Volunteer, under the resource library. So when you get to the Publicity Tools, there's a publicity success packet, which we'll get into today. It's a really great kit for you, has a lot of great sample language and sample emails, things like that. We have a publicity checklist, which we'll show you as well. We're still working on the press release for this season's health fairs. It should come out soon, so just be on the lookout for that. That's a good thing. So then you don't have to, reinvent the wheel when you're telling outlets or local community groups about your fair and you're trying to get in like publications. You can just submit this press release. It makes it a lot easier. Here's a how-to guide for canvassing, which we'll get into. If you click on these in the actual system, there's a bunch of graphics for volunteer recruitment, another graphics for online registration. We have a great volunteer flyer template in there for you that actually is a Word document, so you can just edit it. And then down here, we have like sample public service announcements that's actually sectioned out into 15-second and 30-second sections. So that way, again, you don't have to create anything, we have it there for you. If you do want to get on a local radio station, we have letterhead. This letter of request is for requesting donations or in-kind materials of local organizations. This is a donation letter that can go with it. Thank you letter. So we just have a lot of things in here for you. So don't feel like you need to create something new. Go through all of the resources we have in there for you. And then if there's something missing, you can absolutely create it. But I know you all are so busy. There's more things in your life than just planning this health fair. So in my opinion, the more resources and more shortcuts we can give you, the better. So just know that this is there for you. Please go look and peruse. And then if there's something missing, just let us know and we'll see how we can help. I will let Allison take over on this page.
Yeah. So this publicity checklist breaks down a lot of the things that you can find in the volunteer management system and gives you a little bit more details about them, like how you can use it, when. And then it will kind of prompt you with some questions to start thinking about. So for like banners, where do you want to put this up on the side of the building and when? And flyers, where do you want these to be distributed, when, who, all that kind of stuff. So that's the checklist. And I believe that's in the volunteer management system as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and definitely print it out, make it your own, put notes all over it. And I will say just a quick caveat with the banners. So we definitely send you the banners, but we don't give you anything to hang it up with. So just know that when we do give you your supplies, you will have to have something to hang your banner. I feel like that could be a barrier if you don't realize that when we give it to you. So just know. Let's see. Come on, go to the next slide. There we go.
And so when you're promoting your health fairs, it's always better to start earlier. It's been said that someone needs to hear or see something 7 times before they take action. So the more times you can get this in people's brain, the more likely they're going to come to your fair and take action. So the packet that's in the volunteer management system gives you a lot more details. And it has, sample emails, so you can just copy and paste and add in your information. Same with social media. It talks more about flyers and then other resources that you can consider in your community. And one thing we're doing this year is I'll be creating Facebook events for every fair. And so you can get admin access to this. So you can be the one to add updates, add, people to come, invite people, that kind of stuff. And so if you're interested in becoming an admin, you can send me your Facebook profile and I will get that updated once the registration opens up, the 1st or the 14th or 15th. Some other tips for social media is use what we have in the volunteer management system. You can show some behind the scenes. That's always fun for people to see you getting ready for the fair and how much work it takes and all the volunteers and everything. You can consider boosting a post, encourage your family and friends to share. And if you're feeling creative, you can create your own social media posts using Canva, and it's free and it's relatively easy to use. If you need help, I'm happy to help you.
Yes, I love Canva. It's great. And yeah, definitely reach out to Allison if you do want to be an admin on the Facebook events that she'll create, because we're going to do one for each site. And it'll be a lot more personable if it comes, people can tell when it's really like someone from the community doing it. So I definitely encourage everyone to reach out to Allison if you have a Facebook profile and just share it with her so she can put you as admin. I think it'll be really nice.
Yeah.
Got some flyers.
Yeah, so an exciting thing that we're doing this year is every fair site will be getting 25 personalized to your fair colored flyers, and they'll be mailed to you or given to you when you get your other materials. But we recommend that you go around to different businesses, hand them out to different areas, go to libraries, just try to get these out in the community that you're in so more people can see it. So in addition to the physical flyer, we will have a PDF and a JPEG of it in the volunteer management system, and there will be one in full color and in black and white. There's also going to be a English and a Spanish template, so you can go in and add anything you want to, personalize it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, these are great, and I'm really excited just because they're double-sided, so the information is more digestible when it's spread out. And then this is that volunteer recruitment flyer. So we'll be doing another one that's participant-based, and this one is that one that's a template in the Word document. So it's a lot easier for sites to like customize it, add your own organization's logo, you know, add in all of the free screenings that you're going to do, or you know, organizations that are coming to your fair. You're going to be able to add all of that to this customizable flyer too. So we're definitely going to give you plenty of options to choose how you want to get out the word to your community. So hopefully folks will take advantage of these because we're really excited about it. Okay, so right now we already have these two graphics in the system. So I just find it's really important, you know, like Allison was saying, like 7 times. So let's start, even though, you know, online registration doesn't open for another couple of weeks, just like setting the standard that it is coming, letting them know, save the dates, mark your calendars, you know, all of that kind of language is great. So you can put out this coming soon one, and then an online registration now open. I do only have these in English currently, so I can absolutely put them in Spanish on the site as well. I didn't even think about it until this moment. So I will, we can, and the participant recruitment social media graphics will be in Spanish and additional to English, I'm pretty sure. So we will have those options, but my apologies that it's not more widespread. So it's just important to, you know, in all of your social media posts, we need to be talking about masks. They are going to be required. I know cases and a lot of mask mandates have been coming down recently, which is great for everyone in their everyday life, but these are still going to be big events with some potential crowding and folks getting, you know, all in the same space. So masks are still important in that way. And then just something that we've noticed that is a common misunderstanding with participants, online registration is only for the paid lab screening. So if they're coming to the fair and they're mostly just doing the free screenings, you know, they don't really want anything to do with the paid screenings, totally fine. It's just they don't have to do online registration. I just wanted to make that quick caveat because we have seen that as a point of confusion for some folks, that it's only for the paid screenings that they need to register online beforehand. So just make sure that's clear in all of your outreach. So this is one of the example Facebook posts that Allison put in the publicity success packet that we talked about a few slides ago. So it's pretty basic, you know, just keeping it short, sweet, to the point, very concise, just getting the most important information in there, and then links where they can learn more. It is important to note, whoops, go back. Ah, shoot, hold on. Okay, so it is important to note, like right here, insert health fair URL. So once online registration opens, the individual URLs for the microsites for each health fair, which is again generated by the information that you put in the admin system or the fair management system, it feeds directly into what we call Find a Fair. So each page will have their own little website within our big website. So if you want to link to your actual site's microsite on our website, then just put that in there, and that will just take participants directly to you. They can learn more just about your fair, your offerings, and then the online register now button will be right there. You can still put the regular one, but they'll just might have to fish for your particular fair. So the easier that we can make it for participants to find all the information to register, the more likely that they're actually going to do so. So just know that that will be there. And then this is just some information just in general, what to include, details, time, location, link to online registration or your microsite. Point out the convenience of appointments, if folks make an appointment for a little later in the morning, if they're not maybe as worried about fasting, they potentially don't have to stand in a long line right at the beginning of the health fair, right? So it can be convenient for folks. Again, mask requirements, staying home if you're sick, and then please tag us in all of your social media posts, because not only if you tag us, it not only creates a bigger impact for the audience that you see, but then when we share it, it makes that pool even bigger. So the more that we can help each other, I think the more success we're going to have overall. So just be sure to tag us in all of your posts, and we'll share it and we'll share the love. And this is just another, reminder about telling folks what we can offer them. Like, why do they care about a health fair? Why should they care about, getting their blood work, preventive screenings, things like that? Why should they care, right? For the health of it. So, understanding that lab screenings and understanding your numbers year to year can really help identify potential health issues, chronic diseases, things like that. So just making sure that, we're saying that is important. Colon cancer screening is a very big deal. A lot of people really love that we have that. So it's a big push for a lot of people. Of course, the free screenings, having that conversation with the medical professional, height, weight, BMI, for some reason, I feel like annual physicals with the regular primary care physician, I don't feel like they do the height, weight, BMI as much, and they're not as comprehensive with a lot of things they do. And it's not necessarily their fault. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, we're all busy. And so things have kind of slid, but by coming to a health fair, they get that full scope and they really get to focus on that whole person's health. So it's just, we have a lot of unique offerings that people can't necessarily really experience, but with just like an annual physical and things like that. So just letting people know about that. Some of your fairs will obviously have the COVID vaccine, so that might be a push for some people. And then of course the personalized results dashboard. This kind of gets back to knowing your numbers. Not everyone's normal is the normal range that we say it is. So, a change in their numbers, it might be normal in the range, but it might not be normal for them. So being able to, again, own your health, own the responsibility of tracking your numbers and feeling confident in doing so, I think that's really empowering for a lot of people, because right now we just kind of give it into the hand of doctors and they tell us. So I think it's really nice to be able to see those numbers, see for yourself, and track your progress in our little bar graph year after year. So it's just a few things to kind of mention, and it's just helpful the more we tell people about this. I believe, Allison, this one's yours.
Yeah, so Kristen mentioned earlier that video is a really great way to increase your reach on social media. It's been proven that video is remembered more than just a graphic, and it has a higher conversion rate. So it's a good thing to consider trying out. So you can create videos really easily from your phone. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It could be just a couple seconds, or, someone talking about, why they love going to the fair, anything like that. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. And there are a bunch of different editing apps that you can download on your phone, or even through Instagram has a really easy user face for creating and editing videos. So yeah, it's a really great thing to consider. And then if you do create a video, like Kristen said, please tag us just so we can share it.
Yes, it is super helpful. And I will say too, especially, we talked about preparing for your fair and and that could be like a potential video you do. I've heard just anecdotally from participants in the past that they don't realize that our community health fairs are volunteer run, volunteer planned. Volunteers are like you are giving up their time in order to provide this service to their community. So I think that's an important lens and an important perspective to share with the community, and getting them excited that their neighbors and people who care about the community that they live in just as much as the other folks are. These are the folks that are putting it on for you. So putting a face to that community health fair and letting folks know that you're just regular folks trying to make a difference, and you're just volunteering your time to get the service to them. I think it's a really powerful message. So definitely, dabble in that, see what kind of videos that you can create. They don't have to be long. In fact, it's preferred that they're not long. The shorter, the better. Maybe do a bunch of little ones and just introduce yourselves, maybe, talk about why you're putting this health fair on, why it's important to you. Those testimonials can really help pull people in. So don't underestimate the power of your own team's voice. So obviously, getting the message out about your health fair is so often a grassroots effort, right? Obviously, we're doing a lot of big picture marketing. We saw the promo from 9 News, but so much of the success of each and every health fair depends on the actions of your team and how far we're disseminating this information into the community, where we're talking to people, how we're talking to people, where we're putting this information. So you know your communities way better than any of us, and those community organizations. So just make sure we're reaching out to them. I have a couple, suggestions here: churches, fire stations, schools, rec centers. Even like, your local grocery store, ask them if you can put a flyer in their break room. We really want to make sure that, we're not just reaching out to the people who have maybe always gone to the health fair. We want to revitalize our health fairs. We want to bring it to a new generation and focus and maybe reach people who aren't checking their health. A lot of our folks that come to the health fairs, they're already fully aware of why it's important to check on your health consistently. So I think, what our charge is, and what I hope your hope is to bring new people and tell them why it's important, for them to focus on their health. So think about places maybe outside the box that you haven't usually gone to. And one of them, again, could be just like local grocery stores, local restaurants, and put things in their break rooms or talk to their owners, see if they can send out a mass email, and you could give them some of the copy that we provided in our publicity success packet. So there's lots and lots of places for us to reach new people. So, and this is just a starting point. I'm sure you have an idea of some other folks in your area. So again, bulletin boards, I talked about grocery stores, coffee shops, rec centers, all of those places are a great thing to do. And then of course, besides like another virtual way to help besides just regular social media is Nextdoor. I think a lot of us are familiar with this app. It's really great. A lot of folks are sharing things that are happening, on their street, whether, it's like current events, but a lot of folks are sharing opportunities and community things that are going on in their neighborhoods. So I think Nextdoor is a really great option for folks to get on and just to share this with their community. And then of course, use your own resources. And I think, probably a lot of you had already been thinking about this. Maybe your church has a newsletter or your organization has an active blog, internal email list if you have access and permission to use that. Just your friends and family, coworkers, and the people that they know. Just think about those networks, think about who you can talk to that are really those just like informational leaders in their community, right? Just tap into those folks because they're who the people listen to, which is great. And I think, you all are among those people as well. So just, think about who you know. And then of course, a lot of us, 9 Health included, I'm sure a lot of you, we all made new partners during the time of COVID. So tap into that. I think, that's a very fresh network. Everyone's really on top of things. And I think, in that realm, we've all seen how important our health is. And I think for a lot of people, it's really woken them up a little bit. So tap into that network, tap into that and see, what will come out of that. Cause I think a lot of success will come out of that. And then kind of, back to the really grassroots side of things. I think a lot of health fair teams, canvas, but more so with businesses, like we talked about earlier, with like the police stations and libraries, things like that. But a really strong tool to get to know your community, especially because, while the pandemic is lessening, people are still staying at home a lot. And I might be one of those people because I work from home. And so people are just at their homes a lot more, especially during the week, maybe not on the weekend. It's been really nice. People have been, venturing out. We're Coloradans. We like to go seek adventure. But, thinking about when people are home, realizing that people are home more, let's go knock on their door. I find I used to canvas for work, and I find that you can have a genuine conversation with someone at their door. Of course, assuming that, they want to have the conversation with you. I have a few tips here, respect no soliciting signs. Some people have signs on their door that say they sleep during the day because they work an overnight. Respect all of that. But when you find someone at the door, you can really just break down those barriers and have a conversation. Give them some information, tell them what our offerings are. A lot of people haven't even heard of us, even if a health fair has been running in their community for the last 40 years. There's still those people that do not know about us. And so just think about knocking on their door. We do have a canvassing how-to guide. I showed it to you on one of the original slides where you can find it and click on it, download it on your computer. There's a script in there for you if you want to check it out. There's lots of helpful just tips and tricks for, I know it can be daunting potentially knocking on a stranger's door if you've never done it before. So if any team is interested in putting together a canvassing effort, true door-to-door canvassing, please let me know. I'm here to be a resource for you. And if I'm close, you might just talk me into knocking on those doors with you. And just know, it's important when you go to knock on doors, if they are a part of an HOA, just okaying it, letting those folks know. And each one of your counties has resources for you to tell you what these neighborhood organizations are and what their contact information is. So this particular one that I have down here is specifically for Denver County, but all you have to do is type into Google your county. So let's say Arapahoe County or Garfield County, registered neighborhood organizations. And I don't know, I mean, I'm not going to say for certain that all these counties have this, but most of the counties do have this resource available. So you can just check out what neighborhoods maybe you're interested in knocking on doors. You can see, what association it belongs to, give them an email, give them a call, just okay it with them. And then you can feel free to go start knocking on some doors, maybe just like a couple hours every week or something like that. It doesn't have to be a big endeavor. It can be as big or as little as you want. Just let me know if you do want help, and I will definitely help out. Canvassing is just a really great way. I'm not biased at all, but I think it's a lot of fun. So another really important lens when we're thinking about participant recruitment is really utilizing our day of the fair volunteers. So they're signing up to volunteer at your health fair because they're excited and they're passionate about helping the community, whether a medical professional or non-medical professional. Clearly, in some way, they realize that understanding and owning your health is very important. So why not utilize these folks who are clearly already passionate about helping their community receive these services? So, don't be afraid to ask folks to help out. A lot of times volunteers are like, oh, this is just like a volunteer opportunity, just like one Saturday in the morning. Like, some people might think it's all day. So they might be looking for additional ways to help out. And it would be doing a disservice to yourself not to even ask. So definitely, present the opportunities to your Day of the Fair volunteers when they're signing up, and see if they'd be interested in, helping spread the word. It can be as easy as texting some friends or sharing something on social media. It doesn't have to be hard, or maybe they want to go help canvas with you. You never know. And of course, we are giving the volunteers their discount still. So we really want to encourage all Day of the Fair volunteers, or any volunteers that's helping us. We want to make sure that they're taking care of their health too. So we have that incentive to give them 20% off of all of the paid screenings. You can see the discount code, thank you Vol20. And we do have a sheet on the volunteer management site that explains how to use this discount code. If you want to do it at a fair, you can do that too, or a Quest Patient Service Center if there's one near them. So there's a few different options to take advantage of this 20% off. So just know that's in the system for you, or they can just use the discount code on the website, or just tell the cashier at the fair. Plenty of ways to get that. And this is the t-shirt, by the way, that everyone will get. And just a reminder, I know I've said it, put it in different newsletters. I'm sure your liaisons let you know, but all of the volunteers are getting free t-shirts this year. So just be sure when you're ordering the t-shirts, and that will be a single person ordering for the entire team and a single time that they're doing it. Please do not order more than once. This is new this year that we're incurring the cost for all of the t-shirts. So if you order more than one time and, separate batches, we'll get charged for additional shipping and handling. So just know that, one person will be ordering this, and the details for that will be in next week's Nuts and Bolts newsletter. So just be on the lookout for that. Okay, so I've thrown a lot of information at you. You may have questions, but I'd be interested, to hear, has anyone started publicity efforts? If so, how are they going? Or are you still in the planning phase? I'd love if either one of you want to talk through any of your efforts or plans for efforts. This is definitely the space where we can discuss that. Or if you have any questions, definitely throw them at me.
We're still in the planning process, but we've got it pretty much down and ready to go. But we have not started the publicity yet, because since I work for a hospital, our providers are requesting, once online registration opens, they are going to use a QR code for their patients that they haven't seen in a long time, or that this is crucial for. That they're encouraging them to sign up as soon as possible. So we're not going to put it out to the public for the first few days, I don't believe, once online registration opens. Or if we do, we'll definitely let everyone know registration's coming soon. But we're trying to respect our providers and their efforts in making sure that patients are taking care of their health.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something I didn't even think about. That's a really cool coordination effort on y'all's part to really, because you're right, so many people have put off their screenings or going to a doctor, and if you can prioritize them, that's wonderful to hear. I love that.
Yeah, we're excited about it. We're going to utilize that blood screening, the price sheet, along with the QR code, and all of our providers will be getting that, and they'll begin this publicity process. So it's good. We're excited.
Yeah, wonderful. That's great. Anything else? Any other questions or anything? Because I think I have like one more slide, but I just wanted to give the opportunity.
I did, not to take over, I did want to know if it was because our health fair will be sooner than the original dates that were talked about. I think it was like later April. Is online registration open for everyone at the same time, or is it a possibility to open it a little earlier?
Unfortunately not. Just the way our system works, it might break if we try to do that.
No, that makes sense.
It's temperamental, to say the least. But yeah, and it'll open the week of March 14th. You know, we're gonna try our hardest for that Monday. But
Sure.
inevitably we have technology issues, but fingers
Oh, I hear
crossed
ya.
we will not. Yeah, it's pretty common. But yeah, so that week, all of the fairs will go live for online registration.
Okay, awesome.
Great
Thank
question.
you.
You're very welcome. So let's see. I think the very last thing, you know, we're going to be sending some publicity nudges just to, you know, I know not everyone was able to get on this webinar, you know, or, you know, maybe folks can't watch it later, but we will be sending out some emails just to help keep you guys on track. For what kind of efforts you should be doing when. And then of course that 2 week before we'll definitely be like, hey, you should have your supplies, put up your banners, put out your coming soon signs, because that drive-by advertising really does wonders for getting folks that may not have known about your health fair to begin with. And just having that out there really does help them. So that'll just be one of the many tips that we send out in those publicity nudges, but just know that we will send those out and it'll kind of be in accordance to when your fair is. We'll start sending those out. So just be on the lookout for that email from me. And then that is it. So I have mine and Allison's emails in there, but you probably had them before. Definitely reach out with any questions or, you know, I'll be sharing this recording, but if for some reason you want the slides, I'd be happy to send those to you too. You know, if you can't find a resource, just let us know. I'm happy to send it to you by email, but I just really want to thank you both for joining, and Allison and Edith as well for helping me out and just soaking in all the knowledge. Yeah, if there's not anything else, I will just wish everyone a good night and